Director General and Broadcasting System.
Do solemnly swear
Do solemnly swear
that this testimony I'm about to give this afternoon
this testimony I'm about to give this afternoon,
and at this hearing
and as it relates to this hearing,
will be the truth
will be the truth.
and nothing else but the truth.
Nothing else but the truth.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you, honorable members of the Joint Committee of the National Legislature hearing the budget for fiscal year 2017-2018. Let me start by introducing members of the OBS management here present today. On my immediate left is the Honorable Tipeti Young. He is the Deputy Director General responsible for technical services. Sitting behind him is Honorable Christopher Selly. He is the Deputy Director General responsible for rural broadcasting. And by him is our controller for the system. Speaking to you, honorable members of the committee, is your humble servant, Legislature Julius Reddy, Director General. I have given you the administrative and financial outlay of our institution with respect to the 2016-2017 budget, and I'm sure you have gone through it. I also see that you do have a copy of the 2017-2018 budget as given by the Honorable Minister of Finance. So I wouldn't bore you with the administrative presentation that we brought here, but I'd like to go through simply just say to you, members of the committee, that in an election hearing year, when none is expected of the national broadcaster, with respect to performance and respect to providing Liberians quality public information as it relates to election hearing, the activities and events. It is saddening that our budget has been slashed by almost 50%, if not more. That means we can undertake very little or no activity with respect to election hearing as the national broadcaster of Liberia. As you can see in the budget from the period 2016 to 2017, please, your indulgence, let me find the documentation for that. We had an allotment of 1,243,857, and then the overturn estimate came up to 1,126,989. The 2017-2018 budget to date is at least 53+% minus the allocation for the previous year. And like I said, this is election year. There can be no challenging year for the national broadcaster than this year. And let me also say that at this juncture, when we are building a substation in Greenville Signing County to install a 2.5 kilometer FM transmission to provide quality public information to the people of that region, mainly Grand Coup and River G, including Sino, we have no allocation for the running of that facility when it is finally commissioned in the next 6 to 7 weeks. I don't want to bore you with all of the different things because I'm sure this committee, Mr. Price's erudite professionals, can see that we have strong immediately as an entity in trying to achieve our mandate to provide quality public information to the people of Liberia. So let me leave it with you now to go through the grading, if you will, as to how we can together find the key to some of the vexing issues that are associated with this slash in our budget. Thank you.
I mean, he just made his presentation, and in his presentation, he elected the committee of his budget-based slash, which he linked out to the election matters, which is very key to us in this election period. And so we turn over to Minister of Finance to give a little idea on how they came by 50% in terms of slash. What informed that decision in the election period?
Recognize that the principal role of the Ministry of Finance is to consolidate and program within the resource envelope the expenditure demand of all the ministries and agencies and non-government institutions that are funded through the budget. So firstly, to start with, we had an approved budget of 600 million and it's been raised downward to 545. And this budget submitted that we're discussing now is 526, meaning the projection for next year is even lower than the estimated outlay against the 600 million. So obviously, given our nature of budgeting, balanced budget, we will have to make expenditure adjustment accordingly. So at our level in the Ministry of Finance, we deal with aggregates as far as our discussion or interaction with ministries are concerned. We determine aggregate ceilings for ministries and agencies. And then they determine priorities. In some cases, ministries will make additional representation to us that they have programs within their ceilings, but there are other priorities that needs to be considered. And such priorities, we find other means of engagement, including engaging with the national legislature to deal with that. In the specific case of LBS, the Sando project being referenced was funded through the budget. To date, we've disbursed the full amount of 144,000. To the best of our knowledge, the budget submission from LBS for this year didn't indicate any additional need for the Sando project. So to our understanding, we don't want to say that's the truth or that's the factual information, but what it indicated to us was that the 144,000 being spent in 16-17 was the cost of the project. So it is only now that the DG is telling us that there's still additional work to be done on the Sando project. Again, like I said, perhaps LBS have made representation at all the levels that we are not aware of, but the budget preparation process, I mean, this never came up strongly for us to take note of.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Thank you very much to Mr. Director General, and we also noted your reluctance even to discuss your budget, given the fact that it has already been decimated by more than 50%. I think I listened to the Ministry of Finance's explanation, but what touched me was that I was just doing a comparative analysis of some of the entities. There were reduction off the amount from the previous budget to some acceptable level. But since we started this budget hearing, we have never seen an almost 45% reduction in the budget of an institution.
It amounts to closure.
And especially an institution such as the LBS that is doing well. This institution is doing exceptionally well for those of us that come from the rural part of this country. You know, and if at all, you know, they say that if you don't want to help somebody, don't hurt the person. You know, you could have just left it that way. They would have managed it, and especially as the DG said, during the election year. You know, how do we expect them to cover the elections? You know, they're going to be the eye of all of us. And then we decide that, oh, because yes, you are doing so well, and things are fine, broadcasting services are improving, we will compensate you by cutting your budget by 50%. Mr. Chairman, I think, and I empathize with the DG and his reluctance to even discuss it. You know, this is unacceptable, and I think it really needs to be revisited.
Go ahead, sir.
Thank you. Coincidentally, I'm the chairman of the Committee on Information and Broadcasting in the Liberia Senate. I don't want to be monotonous. I think Senator Coleman stated it wrong. But the Ministry of Finance said they didn't see any additional requests regarding the project in Sano that is likely to inform the entire southeastern region. But let's assume that the project, the infrastructure is completed, constructed, everything. It needs to be equipped. You don't get put a building somewhere and then you start to talk to the people from in there. In communication, you put a building, you're going to get transmitters, you're going to get this and that, microphones and everything in there. You see? But I think what might end up happening would appeal to this committee. If any increase, which I'm sure will be made here, it will be taken from the Minister of Finance own budget. Because this amounts to closing the LBC down. And finance ministers have to be realistic. Even if for any reason, if anybody has a personal problem with management, what have you, it cannot be able to impact the citizenry by denying them access to information. So, Mr. Chairman, I appreciate your passion, I appreciate your concern, and all of our colleagues down here who are angered by this kind of reduction. We will take the appropriate action to deal with the situation, Mr. DG, so you don't have much to worry about. I think that's how I'm going to start. Mr. J, you can turn to J.
Yeah, okay, let me just do a follow-up. I do agree with the other senators and legislators when they talk about the immense contribution that ELBS or ELBC is making in this country. Even though up to now they have not reached River G. We hope that in the not too distant future, yeah, they will be there. But I think this is one of the problems why they can't go some of the places. And whatever the reason finance giving, but I assume that these people did not make the request. Does it really warrant looking into their work that they're doing? Does it worry you to say that they are not making the request, so they don't deserve it?
And we don't need to overemphasize. But the truth is, if we need stability, we need information getting out to our people adequately. And in this country, there's no other radio station or media institution that does it better more than ELBC. The facts are there. And if we want stability, we need to follow that trend. So for me, I want to join the senators. Now that the budget with us, Ministry of Finance proposed to us is a draft. this is for me a suggestion they gave us. It is within our ambit to see reason or not to agree with them. If we feel strongly that EFBC is something that we must support, we can get the money from anywhere. And the Ministry of Finance had no power to say no to what we say here. So I think what we need now is the suggestion from EFBC that we feel strong about to give us the information so that we act on it. And all of us that we agree that we need to get EFBC money, especially these elections time. So for me, I would want to encourage our colleagues that we listen to EFBC to give us the suggestion so that we give them the needed support to give information to our people adequately. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Minister. We are pleased for your appeal. But what we are trying to say, there are so many obstacles, mostly to our area, man, District 2 of Saru County, where government budgeted an annex for ELBC in Bogagiri. But the building there, nothing there. I use my own money to buy the transmitter. But ELBC has not done anything. But people, what we're talking here, they don't even understand. They don't listen to us because they don't hear us. What are your way forward for our people in the Leeward counties? When we are sitting down hearing the best of all and say thank you to you, and the people can't say thank you to us too. Where is your expectation, please? Thank you.
Thank you. Did you want to respond to that before you come in?
Let me update you on Sino. As I speak to you now, refurbishment work is being done at the facility. It started just about 7 days ago, and the equipment is already on its way to Liberia for setting up in Sino in the next 3 to 4 weeks. So I can assure you before the 26th of July, the people of Sino will listen live to ELBC. Thank you.
Want to support LBS, we have to clearly understand so that you receive from the government of Liberia 848,000.
Yes, that's correct.
And then you also raise money from airtime activities that sum up to $815,000.
Yes.
What was the budget for this fiscal period?
The budget for the fiscal period has approved because when the government of Liberia, when the government of Liberia gives us a ceiling of our budget, because we do have commercial activities and we do have commitments, partnership with our international rebroadcasters, the board meets and we propose to the board a joint budget, a combined budget that is approved by the board for expenditure during the fiscal period. So during the fiscal period, the combined approved budget for LBS, excuse me, let me wear my glasses, was $2,387,690. Those are projections, let me add. Whether or not we reach that, that's another thing. But those were projections. Okay.
Because we don't have that here, that's why I'm trying to find. We don't have.
I can always provide you.
Yeah, we don't have that. Okay.
Yeah.
You were able to utilize 1.6 something million dollars,
yes,
even from what you raised and what government paid.
Yes.
So approximately you had a deficit of something around 700,000.
Yes.
If you want to go by your
calculation.
Yeah, by your calculation.
600 something thousand.
600 something thousand. For this current period, what your board approved? The projection, sorry, for this coming period.
We have not met yet as a board. We have not met because of the same issues we're talking here. There's the uncertainty surrounding what is aid we're going to present finally from the GOL. and then looking at our income projection, because we're just concluding the fiscal year. So we're still in the final stage of the fourth quarter of the budget. So
Yeah, but DG, you see, all the years is that state institution that goes, in the leeward counties.
yes,
And all the advocacy, even coming from honorable members of this committee. But then we have to make an informed decision. If your vote hasn't met to approve your budget, as you just stated, then how can we, just fund your activities? Because we will not see the lines that we want to fund so that we provide our oversight. If Sando is not on, if Bond is not on, we will be aware that, look, this was the line that the board approved, and we needed to buy so many gallons of fuel oil from the Bond station, Lofa, and other places. Then we'll come back and say, look, Mr. DG, why is it that Bond and other places are not on? But we don't have anything to rely on to make that informed decision in terms of what you are able to use within the current period, not the current period, but the coming the fiscal period, given the election coming. There are other extra things that will be out of your normal operation that we need to have an idea on so that we fund it.
what usually happens, Honorable Senator, is that we usually wait for the budget to be passed. And when the budget is passed, then we sit down as a management team to recast our projections from what we generate during the period, under reviewing. And then we put it against what the GOL gives us and put it forth to the board. So that's why you see...
DG, there's always a past performance record.
Oh yes, obviously.
There's always a past, the GOL support to LBS is always, besides your project budget, it's always in a kind of tone that you always expect to be around that figure. So based on that, you do your pro forma projection, for the coming fiscal period and meeting members.
Okay, we take that into advisement and we'll certainly make sure our board, the seas of the matter, will inform them that that will inform your decision as to how
So we can get that before Monday?
I wouldn't guarantee, sir, but let's put it up to Wednesday of next week.
Yeah, because we have to conclude and we have to take decision in supporting LBS. We need to know your programs. We need to know why some of those places will be making intervention. And then we do the support and follow up on what we have placed in the budget, given the critical stage of our electoral process.
Thank you.
So by Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday the latest, because expenditure hearing ends tomorrow. So we're giving that dispensation so that we're not just repeating one thing over and again.
Thank you, Honorable Sir. Thank you.
Honorable, anything?
Assuming that you're not available, Wednesday, can we look at your whole budget and take a decision? Meaning if the year was okay, it was not, I know resources was constrained.
I will hesitate because I think if we were to go back on last year, I think there would be a need for a little more addition, especially so given the elections that surrounds it.
Assuming,
yes.
Assuming what? You said little more.
Maybe a 1.5 million will help us do the work.
Thank you.
Let me thank the Director General of LPS. Sometimes when you come late, it's good to listen to the song that has been sung in the church. But my concern is what happened before the budget reaches the legislature. Isn't there a means wherein the LPS directors and the finance minister sit down and discuss the budget? If that is so, what was the yardstick used in reducing this amount? If there has already been an answer, then my thing is, why are we just subjecting the LBS to elections? It's not supposed to be so. Information dissemination not supposed to only be because of election periods. It's supposed to be something that is there for the consumption of the public. So as such, continuously. So as such, I don't think we should, hijack the LBS in a little corner and say, we only do this because it's election period and we want the people to hear all about what is happening Senator, I just think he used that as a spice to spice it up. But by right, I wanted to know the yardstick that the finance ministry used to cut
reduce the budget.
To reduce the budget. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The Senator just came, and whenever you arrive in the church, you listen to the song, you see what they sang, then you follow the sermon. We passed that level. In fact, we started by questioning the Ministry of Finance as to what yardstick they use, why they reduced the budget by 40+%, given the electoral period. And let's stress that we're not hijacking LBS. If the issue of election comes out, it's just good because this is the period of the elections. The question to him, which he didn't understand, was if you were to be restored to your original budget you had, in this election period, you wouldn't have a need for additional to make you effective. Therefore, he came to say, at least if we have 1.5, it makes our work easier. Having said that, let me thank the LBS and remind you that we will still need your financials as requested by this plenary to inform her to make a decision, by this committee, as to what allotment you get. And you have that dispensation between 9 and Wednesday, and we will need that to make decision. Else, we might act on just what we have, and then you will have no other alternative but to work within that means. We wish you well. The different honorable men here expressed concern about you being heard in their districts or in their different constituencies. We hope that you will improve that, and so that our people can hear the better things we are doing in Monrovia. Thank you.